Today's question for our media microscope: have the Paris attacks changed the way the top presidential candidates are covered? Our research comes from the new analytics company, which examines tens of thousands of sources in television, radio, print, and on the web. Let's start with last week. Before Paris, Donald Trump dominating the media coverage here with 38%. Ben Carson behind him at 29%. Then we have Jeb Bush well behind at 14%. Marco Rubio 12%. Ted Cruz way down at 6%. Now, let's look at this week after the Paris tragedy. Here we zoomed in on the top networks, newspapers, and websites. Trump pretty much unchanged, as you see here, 37%. But Ben Carson dropping down to 20% of the stories. That's a decline of 1/3. Jeb Bush, who's done a lot of TV interviews on the terror attacks, jumping from 14 to 18% of the coverage. Marco Rubio essentially unchanged, 11%. But look at this. Ted Cruz, who's been out there hammering the administration over ISIS and leading the charge against admitting Syrian refugees, more than doubling his share of media attention to 14%. He was a player this week. And what about a tone of the coverage? Let's go back to last week before Paris. Here we have negative in red, positive in green. Donald Trump, 60% negative. Ben Carson with 75% negative coverage. Jeb Bush, 66%. Marco Rubio, 64%, and Ted Cruz taking a lot of flack, 70% negative. Fast forward to this week, the Paris story dominating the news. Looking at the top media outlets again. Donald Trump rising to 68% negative, up 8 points. Ben Carson winning the negativity sweepstakes. That's not a prize you want, folks. Jumping to 82% of the stories or mentions being negative. More than 4 out of 5 as he battled questions about his knowledge of foreign policy. Marco Rubio more negative than last week, 70%. And then we have Jeb, no change, 66%. And Ted Cruz, well, you might call him the winner. His coverage was only 61% negative, a 9-point improvement as he aggressively challenged the administration. Bottom line, Paris changed the equation, but Trump pretty much impervious to the news of the week, and rising in the latest Fox News poll out today. Coming up, Donald Trump trying to talk his way out of trouble. Some saying he appeared to suggest a national database for Muslims. He says it was a reporter's idea. And later, should television be airing ISIS propaganda videos?